Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits. Welcome to my FlossTube. I have Noodle here in his little box bed, ready to make little creepy noises in the background. I've got lots of works in progress to share, a bunch of finished pieces to show off, so let's get started. So I've taken a video to show you Noodle, and he's just shifted, so he looks a little different. I might actually take another video. So Noodle is looking so comfortable and so happy and very sleepy, and he's already started making creaking noises with the box that belongs on my desk that he sleeps in. So apologies for the noises in the background that will inevitably happen. But regardless, I've got so much to share and not much time to share it in because I've been so busy today. We are going to dive right into the finished pieces that I have, which is the thumbnail for this video, so you will have seen them a little bit. But I have this amazing cake, hoop cake, of finished pieces that I will be gifting out next week. Well, my daughter will be gifting out next week because I need to take photos of them all, and I'm not ready to gift them without taking pictures and videos, so I won't be doing it today, which is Friday, but that's okay. So anyway, I've got all of these pieces. They're all gifts for some of the bus drivers that are at my daughter's school, because my daughter is going into middle school next school year, and yeah, I don't know how many of the drivers she'll see once she changes school. So anyway, this is the pieces. I don't really know what to do a voiceover with these about. Yeah, 6 of the drivers that I guess are there when my daughter finishes school. So it's not all of the drivers, because some of them leave before she gets out for school. This is her actual bus driver that she sees in the mornings. But yeah, this one's a little different because the driver is really nice, but he doesn't get out of his bus. I don't really see him. I don't really talk to him that much. So it felt a bit strange to include a person on his, but he's apparently very nice to my daughter in the mornings and toots the horn whenever she's waving to him when he drives off. So those are the pieces, and I'm nervous and excited to give them out as gifts. They've taken a long time. I basically didn't stitch them for about 4 weeks because I was busy working on teacher gifts. So I think the whole of April I didn't touch them at all. Yeah, but that was fine. I got started on them really early, and I knew that I wasn't going to give them as gifts until closer to the end of the school year. So I knew it was okay if I sort of put them on hold for a bit and continued on the other projects, which was the teacher gifts and things like that. So yeah, it's all worked out in the end because right now is the 30th of May. I wanted to give them out a couple of weeks before the end of the school year, so Monday is going to be perfect because it'll be the 2nd. My kids finish on the 16th, I think. That's their last day. So it will be 2 weeks before the end of school year. Perfect. So those are my finished pieces. I'm so glad that they're done. I've actually given myself a rug burn from doing up the backs. So I do a running stitch around the fabric, and so this is just like it's a pearl thread from DMC, so it's a bit thicker, and pulling them all, because I've just been finishing them all before I started recording, pulling the floss tight, I've given myself a carpet burn, but a floss burn, which I've never done that before. But yeah, I've got a sore finger. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's move on to works in progress, because I've got a bunch of works in progress. I actually have like an extra bag to hold it all, so it's not just all sprawled all over my desk. But let's start with the big project, which is my Flower Meadow. So I am all caught up. I'm actually caught up to today. So I have done today's flower as well. And I am officially nervous, I will admit. I was thinking about the fact that the end of June is exactly halfway, well, give or take a day or two, exactly halfway through the year. And if I fold this in half, that is all the space I have to do June down there. So I'm going to be cutting it really close to the end of the fabric for the entire year. I am not super concerned. That's kind of confusing. I am really concerned, but I also believe that I will fit it all on here. But it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be a close call. It really, honestly, depends on how many big wide flowers I get compared to little skinny flowers. So a lot of May had some of those skinny flowers. So I had these two side by side and these two side by side. So that's really helped. And today's flower was another one of those tiny little ones. And that's helped squish it this way a little bit. Fingers crossed for me, please, everybody, because that's all I got left. I really should have given myself more space. Oh, sorry, less space at the top. I should have done even 10 squares up higher than I did. We'll see what happens in 6 months. So that is that piece, which I'm really happy that I am caught up to today, because all I've got left is one flower for tomorrow, and then I'll do the little signs for the May-June sign thing. And yeah, I will be able to take a nice easy picture on Sunday when I have my progress photos that I do of all the things that I've worked on. So anyway, the next one, what did I put as my list? Because I've got it all in the correct order. So the next piece is in my bag. This Stitch People portrait that I didn't actually work on, so I didn't share anything last. FlossTube, that's the one. But I've done a tiny little bit on this. I've finished all of the French knots and back stitching and everything on this. So the eyes on the dog are done, the eyes and the nose on the cats are done. And I've done most of the hair, or some of the hair, on this little girl. She's got like a half updo, so you sort of, if you would grab the hair and go up to the crown of your head, she's got like that ponytail, and then all of the rest is all curls and waves, which is, when it's done properly, it's a really cool looking Stitch People hairdo, and I've done it successfully once. So yeah, I'm trying to do it again. Let me know what you think so far. I'll be adding in a tiny little hair tie like right there to sort of break it up a little bit. But yeah, there's that one, and I'm hoping to get that one done before next FlossTube and send it out. That'll be good. My next one is exciting. This is Extraordinary Birds by Lola Crow cross stitch. I have officially finally started on this one. So this is enormous, but you can see I've done it's not a lot, but it's an official start. I'm on the black, so I'm on the second color. So I've done all this color down the bottom here. That is so big. It would be better if I could do that. But yeah, it's so far 3 features, she's calling them for this stitch along. 3 features have been released. The 3rd one came out today. I'm gonna do it properly, I want to say, for lack of a better term. I'm going to do the frame, and then I'm going to do each part one by one, and I will do what I did for the other stitch alongs of hers, because she has a lot of back stitching for her stitch alongs. I will do the back stitching before I move on to the next part. I promise you that now. So there's that one, and yeah, I'm very pleased that I got my finger out of my butt and got started on that. I even turned it into an Instagram post. What's the next piece? The next one is also not a lot of work has been done on it, but I know that I did do a little bit. That's sort of the theme, it feels like. This one is Night of the Frost Dragon by Flossie Fox Shop. I am still working on parts 1 and 2, but I'm getting even closer to being done. There's just a lot of white for this part, for this, at least these 2 parts, but in this pattern it seems like there's a lot of white, which is fine. That's the main reason I picked black fabric, but yeah, the main reason that it's taking so long is because I picked black fabric. I am considering, with a heavy heart, I guess, undoing my gridding, so removing all of it and actually gridding it with the white pencil that I have, which is what I used for a different work in progress that you'll see. Yeah, just because I did mess up the grid, and I know that the pencil will come out. When I gridded this back last year, I was not confident in washing out the pencil lines, so yeah. Let me know what you think about me doing that. It would take so long, but I feel like it might make things easier ultimately. I don't know. If you do grid like this, where it's, you know, these lines kind of thing, whether you do the lines or the crosshairs like I've done, because you can do it two different ways on this way, let me know whether or not you think I should go to something that feels more comfortable for me. I would like your feedback on that. Next work in progress. I am caught up with this, except for today's pattern that came out. This is Court of Crows by Fine Frog Stitching. The next part that's come out is little stings on the shelf here. But yeah, I am caught up with this piece. I'm about to lose my needle. Again, with this piece, it's so nice and easy to stay caught up, is what I'm trying to get at. Because the parts aren't really that big. So I compare it to each part that comes out for a designer like Lola Crow, where each week a new thing comes out, but the parts are really big. I couldn't even guess how many stitches, but it'd be like these two portraits, like the circle and everything came out in 1 week, whereas this has had like this little piece here, this little oval here. The oval was part of the frame, the flowers on the sides were one part, and the crow was another part. So it's a lot easier. Yeah, it's easier to keep up. I like this one. I have no idea what I'll do with it, but it's cute. My last work in progress. The TV turned on over there. Alexa, turn off the TV. I don't think I said anything to make it turn on. But anyway, the last work in progress I have is Secret Grove by Needle Lot Designs. So this is the one that I've been using pencil to grid on, and I've been basically gridding it slowly because as I work my hands are rubbing the pencil off, which is kind of okay because they're still really faint. Like I can still see it, you probably can't, but there are some little marks here of where the grid was. But anyway, I'm working on part 4 of this, and I'm pretty close to being done part 4. And part 4 is this squirrel and the acorn and the apple. But I was thinking about this while I was stitching it the other day, that this would be really cute to do all the animals individually as like their own little pieces. Because I can see the whole piece of this now, because everything has been released, all the parts. And yeah, it's a lot of cute animals that could easily hold their own as a single design. And this is going to be a long piece too, as you can see. Which I was thinking about it from my last FlossTube. I was saying, well, I might be able to fit the bottom extra that she, rejigged to be able to add to the bottom of the piece. And I was like, might do that if I have room. I'm not going to have room. I was thinking about it while I was editing, and the other day. I'm like, I'm not going to have any room. So that's not going to happen for me. But that's okay. Obviously, if I'd known about it, I could have moved this up way higher, and yeah. Anyway, I'm going to fold this one the other way this time. This crease is getting a bit deep. Sometimes you got to do that. If you fold up your work when you're not stitching it, like I do, like that's that project bag where it's got all the floss in the floss away bags. It's got the fabric in there, and like the scissors, and I've got the other patterns. So they're all the other patterns to go with it, and one of these little Ort catchers. If you fold it up like this, then it finds its grooves, and then it's really hard to iron out those grooves. Anyway, that's all my works in progress-ish. So I'm gonna readjust how I'm sitting. So I technically have another work in progress, but I'm actually unpicking part of it. This is a piece that I haven't shown for like 6 months now. It was going to be the pattern that I submitted for the Stitches Collective. That was all the way back in November. Because I couldn't get the wording right, displaying, like showing up properly, I decided against it, and I did this instead. This is what I submitted for it, which is available on my website now. I mentioned this in the last FlossTube. The time frame to wait to release the patterns that were in that is expired now, so this is on my website. Anyway, yeah, I'll just show you. So this is the piece. I really, really like the scene itself. Yeah, it's cool. Like I don't usually say that about my own designs, but I think this is really nice, really nice. And it's supposed to be inspirational. It's supposed to match with a couple of other patterns that I have from years and years ago that are inspirational things with a full coverage design. And the thing says, and I dropped the pattern on the floor, hang on, because I can't remember what it says. It's been so long since I worked on it. But the quote says, "It always seems impossible until it's done," which I think is a really nice reminder. Yeah? Yeah? It was supposed to be in white, which on my pattern program comes out very legible, it's easy to read, blah, blah, blah. Then, and this is why we test stitch, I stitched it up and you couldn't read it. So you can see the eye, that's all that's left of the white cross stitching. But the back stitching, because it's some of the words, you can only impossible and done are in cross stitch, the rest is all back stitch wording. You couldn't see it, you couldn't read it at all, not even the cross stitched words. The back stitch were like next to impossible, but yeah. So I've been umming and ahhing for a long time. Like I test stitched this back in, I think, September last year, because I was getting ready for the release in November. Yeah, I'm thinking I will try it first in black, even though I really don't think black is going to look nice. Black is going to stand out the most, but there's no black in the pattern, which is why I think it's not going to look great. So I'm going to try black, see if I can tolerate it. If I can't, then I'm going to stitch it in a really dark brown. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this, whether it's, if you like the full coverage design of it, whether I should just fill in the wording and just make it a graphic without the words, what color you think I should do the words, if it should have the wording. Like, give me your feedback on this. I would really, really love to hear. It looks really nice from far away as well. So I like this piece. I just don't like where it's at right now. We've done that, we've done that, we've done that. Okay, let's use that segue from works in progress to Two Little Kit stuff. The first thing that I want to bring up is the mystery kits that I talked about in my last FlossTube. I know that I said they would end on the end of June 1st, but I'm extending it for today, which is the 2nd of June when I release this video, just in case you missed out and you really wanted to join in, but you know, life just got in the way or whatnot. I totally understand that. So I always intended to be like, and leave it open for an extra day. So there'll be a link in the description on where you can get that. Now is your last chance. Please join me. I've got all these people who are gonna do the mystery kit. So thank you so much for those of you who have bought a kit, and those will get sent out early June, and I'm excited. I've got some fabric cut up here, yay! And I need to make a trip to the craft store to get more of some of the floss colors. So that'll be exciting. I will always have an excuse to go to the craft store. The other thing that's Two Little Kits related is my newest pattern. which I have zipped locked away, and it is Gemini. Yay! So we're now in Gemini season, and I have completed and is available on my website. The test stitch and the pattern is available on my site. I really, really like this one. I'm really glad that I went with the strange hair colors, just because I think it pops from the yellowy color, if that makes any sense at all. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling right now. But yeah, let me know what you think of this. I do have, they're all together, which is why I've got the little Ziploc. I do have Aries and Taurus as well. So those are the 3 that we have available. I'm currently working on Cancer. I have the project bag ready to go. I just have other things that I need to work on first. But I have it here. So there's my little project bag for Cancer, and I haven't started stitching it, so that's why it's not in the work in progress thing, but there's, hopefully you can sort of see the crab. I shared a sneak peek of it on my socials if you're curious about how it looks exactly, but yeah, I'm getting ready for when I will release Cancer, which will be in like 4 weeks. 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. Oh my gosh, that means my birthday's coming up. Ooh. You can get that on my website. Again, it's this one here. So it's called Zodiac Gemini. The last thing that has been going on with Two Little Kit stuff is some new blog posts. I have 2 that are on my website. One of them I'm really, really happy with. I think I mentioned in the last FlossTube that I was excited for it to be scheduled for release. It's called Building Better Habits, How Cross Stitch Can Change Your Life. And I know that's a big call, but I truly think that cross stitch changed my life for the better, just to be clear. So there'll be a link to that in the description. The other one is a blog post about the teacher, therapist, para-educator pieces that I completed for 2025, which I've shown in previous FlossTubes. So you can also check that link in the description, but I should put like a little link kind of thing. Hopefully I did, wherever it pops up. Yeah, you'll be able to click that and see the teacher gifts. And finally, because I really have to wrap up, unfortunately, IRL stuff, which I guess thankfully not a lot has been happening, which is such a blessing because this time of year, if you don't know, is insane for my family. It's not only the end of the school year starting to wrap up, but both of my daughters' birthdays are mid-June, and so I'm just like, ugh, oh my gosh. But for what happened in these last 2 weeks, all that really happened was I really cleaned the house, which is really nice. Like mostly organized / tidied the house. There's still a lot to do, and I've got a lot to do today and tomorrow especially, but isn't it so nice to just walk around the house and just be like, oh, there's not stuff everywhere in this room, you know? It's nice. And this week we went to my daughter's future middle school because she is graduating grade 5 this year, and so I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready. Personally, I'm not ready. She's really excited. She gets a locker, and so she's like over the moon excited about that. It was, yeah, so we had like an open school thing that we went to, and she got to, she saw one of her friends from school, because the school she's actually going to isn't our home school, because she needs the correct specialty program, and that's only available at one school in the district, which is like a 25-minute drive away. I'm so glad she qualifies for the bus. Yeah, she saw one of her friends from elementary school, and he was having a tough time. He's also special needs, and he was just like overwhelmed, and the new environment, and she was just like, oh, you know, and she started playing peekaboo with him, which always cheers him up apparently. So I've been told by her teachers, and I was just like, oh, I love you so much, kid. But yeah, so that's happening, and I'm terrified, and she's not right now, at least. Yeah, I've got to get organized now for my youngest is having a sleepover party, which isn't going to go as great as she hoped. Unfortunately, one of her friends can't come and another friend isn't going to sleep over. So thankfully, in my opinion, it's going to be a lot more low-key, but that's happening tomorrow. And I'm also organizing a visit to a cat cafe for my oldest daughter, because I've been having a lot of trouble getting in touch with the parents of the girls who she's friends with, the neurotypical girls that she's friends with at school. They're just not getting, the parents aren't getting back to me. So she's not having a party this year, unfortunately, which is, for financial reasons, is a great thing, but she's excited to go to a cat cafe and so am I. So, and I'm pretty sure the other 2 people in my family are as well. So anyway, it'll be good. I'm rambling because it's stressful, like I said, this time of year. By the time I get around to my next FlossTube, it will be the last day of school for the year. I realized just now, because they finish on a Monday. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again for liking and commenting and subscribing if you are subscribed. If you're not, everything is down below and it helps me out so much. It gives me such warm fuzzies and I try to respond to every comment that I get. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I truly appreciate it. Last chance to get a mystery kit, which really supports me emotionally, especially. But until next time, I will see you around the internet. Bye.